Welcome back to the Forum Nexus podcast, and I almost said Freedom Project podcast. I know this is going to take a while for me to get used to it, but welcome to the Forum Nexus podcast. And again, I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that you guys can see me. That's why I'm making all of these jokes. Hopefully it lands. But today, I'm here to introduce you to two individuals, Rodenbaugh and Carlton Abner, really good friends of mine. They're both therapists. Crystal is active, she's still offering her services. And Carlton is a teacher right now at Kansas University. And the reason why I'm doing this episode is for you guys to see that, people that are in this space, they're just like us. And I hope you guys enjoy this conversation, and I'll see you right back.
Welcome everyone to My Therapist's Name Is, where we take a deeper dive into the lives of therapists to uncover the people behind the profession. I'm your host, Carlton Abner, and I have the pleasure of chatting with Crystal Rodenbaugh. Crystal, welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here today. And before we dive into the heavy-hitting stuff, what do you think about an icebreaker?
I like that.
All right. What would you say is a song that describes, kind of encapsulates who you are?
Yeah, one that comes to mind is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. And I think with that is it's a rough start. They have a hard life, but yet they keep going, they keep dreaming, and they never give up.
That's great. I'm hearing the song in my head, and I don't think I've ever made the connection to the lyrics, the story, and resilience. That's awesome. It is a great story of resilience.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into your professional journey here. Just starting with what inspired you to become a therapist and led you to pursue that career path?
Yeah, I think it's multi-layered. It started with I was a camp counselor in Boston for a while, and hearing and being a part of the kids' stories of resilience was just incredible. Like, I was blown away by what they were able to overcome. And then I lived in England for a while as well. And again, there's a similar theme. And I knew that if I could just be a part of that journey and push people to be even better, that I would be living the dream.
That's an amazing, very enriching experience that we're very lucky to have here. So that's fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing. In your opinion, what do you think are some of the traits that qualify someone as being a good therapist or a great engaging therapist, and how do you incorporate those traits into your practice?
Yeah, I think kind of the ones that top of mind would be empathetic, compassionate, understanding, able to create space for someone to kind of show up and be raw and vulnerable and know there's no judgment in the room. But yet also I think a good quality is just being able to challenge. It's not just a place where you can come and vent, but it's like, hey, I have goals and I want to move towards them. And so someone who might pick at you a little bit and not let you settle.
Mm-hmm. Love that approach. That's great, bringing out the best in people. Do you feel comfortable sharing a memorable moment from your journey as a therapist, something that kind of stuck with you throughout your practice?
Yeah, when I first started, I began working with a teenager, and I got to work with her all throughout until she graduated high school. And it was a pretty significant accomplishment for her. She had an incredibly tough life. And I was able to attend her ceremony, and just watching her thrive was just amazing, kind of seeing it all come together.
It's great to be a part of it. Love that story, trying more resilient, trying to stop you. There's a lot of press and literature about mental health, the stigma surrounding mental health. And it's fantastic that we have something like a mental health awareness month that we're celebrating here this May. What do you believe are some of the common misconceptions that people have about therapy today? And how would you go about addressing those in your practice?
Yeah, I think the big one is people, they think that if I go, that I may be weak, or that there's something wrong with me, or maybe that, again, some big diagnosis is going to change my life. But it's just about going and being seen and being able to share part of what you're going through, and then someone help, again, guide you towards something that you're moving with, values or just life goals or anything like that. And so I think in being able to get over that is like, if everyone had someone they can show up to and talk to, imagine what our world would be like.
Yeah, I think what resonated with me the most in what you just said is being somewhere and being seen.
Yeah.
Just very powerful. We hope we get that in some clinical exchanges that we have with friends and stuff like that, but to have a clinical outlet, that is fantastic. What advice would you give to someone who may be hesitant about going to therapy or seeking counseling?
Yeah, do some research, see if you connect with some stories and bios online of different practices. There's different websites like Psychology Today where people list kind of their practices, and see if you connect with what they're saying and kind of see it as like an interview, and see, can you show up and do you feel comfortable there? What's it feel like? And just take the jump and then trust the connection. If you don't feel it, try another one.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. So in that interviewing process, you may not get it right the first time.
Sure, yeah.
Be feeling okay with saying, I don't know if this is going to work, and starting a little bit in that search.
Yeah, and we at our practice, we offer a 15-minute phone consultation, and sometimes you can even hear it in the phone, what that connection may or may not be like. But yeah, just kind of taking that jump. Love that.
That's great advice. We approach it like an interview. Now to your own well-being, which, your job in any service-oriented profession can sometimes be a little bit draining. So being in the wellness industry myself, I know it's sometimes hard to practice what we preach. When you're not busy chasing lives in the therapy room, what do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Yeah, so I have 2 kids, and I coach my daughter's basketball and softball team, and that is super fun. And then just being a part of their sporting events. And then my husband and I like to play pickleball as well. And I mean, I'm always good down for a spa date. So
do you feel it when you get disconnected from some of those things, and kind of, is there something that reminds you to get back into it?
Yes. I had a mentor all along the way that said, you have to take care of you, because if you want to be sustainable in this career, you got to prioritize your well-being.
I think that's probably true for a lot of careers. All right. So as we wrap up here, I want to say, one, it sounds like you've got the perfect balance of experience that you're bringing, even from an international perspective, to your own experience where you're prioritizing your own well-being. Looking ahead, what are you hoping to accomplish as a therapist and contributing to full to mental health?
Yeah, I just want to normalize it. I want it to be everyone says, oh yeah, I have a therapist too. And just to know, again, that there isn't any weakness in that, but it's just how nice is it to have extra accountability.
Yeah, man.
And so just to normalize that, be a part of that conversation. And yeah.
I'm with you there. This shirt is more than a segment for me. I've been wearing this shirt for about a year and a half just to kind of do the same thing, just get rid of the sticky.
Yeah.
Like everyone needs. I love that on the scene.
Yeah.
Again, before we wrap up, any final words of wisdom for people when it comes to mental health or seeking therapy?
Yeah, I know sometimes in a month where you hear a lot about it, you could forget after that month is over, or you can tune it out. But just know that the people who you might hear repetitive messages, it probably means it might work. And so giving it a shot.
There must be some truth to it if you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, very wise words from Crystal Rodenbaugh. And I am truly grateful for the time that you've been able to give us today. I hear that you will probably need to be leaving here, going right back to serving and helping others. Is that correct?
Yep, I got 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's fantastic. So thank you so much for your time again today, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
As we close, I would like to share some thoughts on why we did this segment today and a little bit more about the shirt that I mentioned. I lead a health and wellness program at the nation's 5th largest medical school here in Kansas City, called Kansas City University. Many people don't know that that's how large that medical school is in downtown Kansas City, but I see all the time a struggle that people have when it comes to generally connecting with one another, as well as recognizing when and where they might need some help that goes beyond just a friendly connection and more of a clinical setting. So I wear the t-shirt to just remind people that there's no shame in saying, hey, I need some help. I think one of the hardest things that we can do is struggle to find those words, to not get that help, and then to ultimately let it ruin our lives and the lives of the people around us. If you're struggling with making that decision to find a therapist, I implore you, please do just like Crystal said, engage in that journey, begin that interview, and find someone that can help you, whether that be a friend or a therapist. I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your mental health awareness month.
Welcome back, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And I had a very simple reason to why I wanted you guys to watch that. And I didn't put myself in it because I want you guys to experience just 2 individuals that are in the front line having a conversation. Because at the end of the day, they have the same hobbies as us. We're all very similar. And I want us to have a sense of empathy when we interact with these individuals, just to know that they also go home to their families. They like playing sports. They like eating pizza, etc. Even Crystal mentioning that she had 4 p.m. Session that was scheduled. Even though all of that is happening, they're still human at the end of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed this conversation. And again, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for sticking around. The Freedom Project had almost 150,000 people that have listened to it, which is wild. And I hope that the same support will continue with Forum Nexus, as we have so much to do, so much interviews. And if you're watching this, I'm here. You get to see my face now. But if you're listening to it, please share it, either you're watching or listening, like, subscribe. And we do have a newsletter now. You can sign up to it. And this will send everything that we do into your inbox. Either that's, all the advocacy work, all the, we may have some A-listers here or that we're talking to that are interested in being guests on this podcast. So stay tuned and look forward to many more amazing conversation, as 2025 is the year of work, and I'll see you at work, my friends. And before I go, I want to say one thing. Do not let anyone, and I mean absolutely anyone, steal your peace. All right, you take care. Cheers.